Sorry for the sudden interruption. I'm going to assume that this is Jane's mother's phone number that I'm texting, correct? I am her fiance David's father, and you can call me Michael.
Sorry for not having gotten in touch with you any sooner. My name is Laurel. I think the last time we spoke to one another was years ago when they first started dating, right?
I was able to get your phone number from David.
Yes, I heard about that from him. Sounds like you have something to ask me about, so what could that be?
Well, then, allow me to get to all of that right now. Understanding that something like Jess's family having only been her and you, that would make for a bad picture of us, and I'm therefore going to ask that you do not come to her wedding in 2 days.
What? By that, do you mean that you're upset with the fact that I'm her only parent currently?
Correct, that's what I'm saying. Just the idea of someone having only been raised with one parent is a bad one.
I understand that, but what about the rest of the family that will be going to the wedding?
I have people that I can have stand in for you, so there won't be any problems there.
You're having people stand in? I can't believe this. What have Jess and David said about all of this?
Considering I'm the head of this house, those two will listen to everything I have to say about it and abide by it. I just need you to stay quiet and make sure not to show up to the wedding on the day of.
No way.
Anyhow, I'm going to need you to cut ties to Jess. I'm already having to take on someone like your daughter who had a stunted education and everything under you, so you should be more than thankful for that. If you really care for your daughter's happiness any, you won't speak about any of this to her.
Laurel, hello. Do you have a moment to talk?
Hello, David.
Would you like to come with Jess and I to the wedding tomorrow in my car?
What?
You're the one who'll be handling things like Jess's makeup and her hairstyling, right? We should arrive at the wedding venue around the same time anyway, so wouldn't it be best if you came along with us both in the same car? Your house is on the way for us anyway, so if you don't mind, come along.
Thank you, but David, have you not heard anything from your father about me?
From my dad? Now that I think about it, he did say that yesterday he took some time to talk with you over text. Don't tell me he was being rude to you about something.
He was talking to me. I'm sorry to have to say things like this about him to his own son, but I have no other choice, it seems.
What the heck did my dad end up saying to you?
Do you want to take a look at all the things he sent to me yesterday? I think sending you the screenshots would be a much more efficient way of handling this, instead of me trying to explain things.
That's a good point. You can send me those screenshots. Wait! If you don't mind this, how about I make my way over to your house right now, and you can show me everything he said to you in person. And if things require it, we can begin to talk about how to deal with my dad right away.
If you're going to be coming, then can you bring Jess along as well?
Of course I can. She already said to me that she wants to come, so we'll be coming together.
Understood. I'll see you both soon, then.
Excuse me, Laurel. Why have you come to the wedding venue today? I already told you not to come, didn't I? I can see that you're over in the bride's changing room as well right now, so what do you think you're up to there?
Good morning, Michael. I don't think anything is going to be able to change the fact that I'm the bride's mother and have a right to be at her wedding today. And I'm not up to anything bad by being here.
If not, then leave!
But I'm in the middle of some tasks I was asked to handle by the bride and groom themselves.
Tasks? Ah, perhaps you work as a janitor or something like that? I remember you saying back when we'd first met one another that you work in a field where you clean people up and make them feel pretty, all while giggling about it.
So you remember the way I was laughing about it then, but nothing about the actual field of expertise that I'm in?
Huh?
I'm really sorry to stop things here, but I'm in the middle of prepping the bride for her wedding day, so I must go.
Hey! You get the hell out of here right now! I told you already that the bride having only one parent, and that being only her mother, is a bad look for us. Someone who should have already cut ties to her daughter shouldn't be coming into here thinking she can be around us.
David, I started to get some more texts from your father.
Is that right? As expected, he's really gone and done it to himself.
Yep, unfortunately he did. Do you want to come over here and see me to take a look at everything he said? And then I will leave everything thereafter in your hands.
Sure thing, I'll be there right away. Dad, you go home right now.
What?
I don't want you to be at my wedding anymore.
David!
I just spoke with both Mom and Grandma a second ago, and the both of them are furious with you now.
What are you going on about right now, David? If you don't have the both of your parents there during your wedding, you're going to make a bad image for yourself.
And you've gone and made a terrible image for yourself by acting like a complete and total jackass to Jess's mother. But it seems you don't quite get that yet.
What are you talking about?
Jess's mother works as a hairstylist. And not just any stylist, but one working at the top hair salon here in this city. She does the hair of so many celebrities that you probably can't even count them all.
What? She works at a hair salon that even celebrities are going to?
That's right, and it's the exact same place that both Mom and Grandma have been going to for years now, and are very familiar with Jess's mother because of it. And the only reason Jess and I were able to meet in the first place was because of their relationships. Then, here's something that I think you of all people will find very important, Dad.
What is it?
It seems that a lot of those hair salons have been left under the supervision of Cameron. And you know that Cameron has plenty of other businesses that he's taking care of as well, right? And the main company that he's in charge of happens to be a massive business partner of the company you're working at, Company W.
What?
He happens to be Jess's brother, but you never met him before because all of the times you guys were around, he was busy with things like the businesses. But you did get his business card at one point, correct?
His business card? So that's what that business card was all about?
Don't tell me you threw that card away or something. So you did toss it.
I thought he was going to try talking to me some more later on about how he wanted to sell me his lovely company or something, considering he never had a father growing up to make him into a proper businessman.
Jesus! So you didn't even have a look at his business card to see the kind of man he is. And when you were told about where Jess's mother has been working, you didn't listen to any of that either. Seems neither your eyes or ears are of any use to you then.
What? How dare you say things like that to your father? Everyone and their mother knows that fatherless households like theirs are utter disgraces. Sorry that you can't seem to wrap your head around that or anything. That is why I asked for Laurel to stop talking to Jess anymore, so that this family's image didn't have to be stained by her.
I see. And here's a response from Cameron, the CEO of Company W, to what you've said to his mother. Then, this is the end of my company and your company's relations as well, correct?
What?
Dad, you were the one in charge of business relations between Company W and your company, right? Seems that you've been causing a lot of trouble for Cameron's company and the man he left in charge of relations with you, all because he's a bit younger than you. Well, just a couple of days ago, on Friday to be exact, that man went and made a complaint to your company about how you've harassed him.
He complained?
Your company was told that as long as you are overseeing the business relations, there would be no more business between you guys and Company W.
What was that?
In preparations for this wedding today, you took off that Friday, right? Well, when it comes to this Monday, you're going to be hearing all about what's happened while you've been out of the office. And here's a word from your CEO of Company A.
Huh? My CEO is here right now with you guys?
Cameron happens to be close friends with your CEO, and considering how long they've been friends for, he's also family friends with Laurel and Jess. In other words, not another person here has the same kind of skewed views on people like Laurel that you do, and not a single one of us wants you around.
No way!
If you understand what I've said, then hurry up and leave this place right now. If I have to have a father like you around during my wedding, I'll be more than embarrassed. I'm also going to be cutting ties to you now.
Wait a minute, David. If you do something like that to me, then you'll have to say goodbye to both your grandma and mother as well. Are you really okay with something like that?
The only person I'm cutting ties to is you, Dad.
What? What are you talking about?
If you have no intent to celebrate the joining of this family with Jess's, then you can grab your things and leave this place right now. I've already gone and told the staff about what you've done and what to do with you.
Wait!
Just go the hell home.
Laurel, please, can you find some way to talk my wife out of what she's thinking?
Good evening, Michael. That must mean that the talks about divorce are going well for her?
That's correct. I would really like you to go and have a word with her right now to try and avoid this divorce, or else...
I hear that she's the owner of that house and everything, so if you get divorced by her, you have to go.
That's absolutely right.
I heard this from your wife as well, about how back in middle school you had to start living in a fatherless household.
What?
I'm not sure what kind of person your mother was, or in what way she raised you that led to you becoming the pathetic man you are now. But with you so against me and the person I am, that must mean that you're also against your own mother and downright hate her, correct?
Yes, that's right. She was divorced by my father because she was too ugly and useless for him. I wanted to go with my father after the divorce, but my mother took custody of me anyway. I hated my mother because she put me into that fatherless household and would be gone day after day working, yet still not make enough to get us out of poverty. Also, she'd never bother to care for me, and that's why I hate her more than anyone else.
So she was having to work her butt off in order to take care of her only child?
Had she just forgiven those 1 or 2 times of cheating?
Huh?
Had she just done that, then I would have never had to have grown up like that without my father around. I'm sure the same thing can be said for you, right? Even if you've raised 2 excellent kids, you're never going to free yourself of being that crappy parent to your children. Any mother who is divorced by their husband has to be completely useless.
Speaking about me like that will only hurt you more. Because the reason I ended up being a single mother is due to my husband passing away to his chronic illness.
What?
Considering that this will most definitely be the last time you and I ever talk to one another, I don't want to say anything more to you. However, I will let you know one last thing, and that's for you to hurry up and fix that bias and attitude of yours before it ends up completely ruining your life.
Wait!
Goodbye now. There was something in Michael's last message that caught my attention. A certain phrase stood out. An affair once or twice? It made me wonder if there was more to the story, and as it turns out, my suspicions were correct. He had been having an affair with a female subordinate. Later on, I heard from his wife that this affair was added to the list of reasons for their divorce, alongside the original issues that had caused their relationship to break down. After that, things took a sharp turn for Michael. Even in his professional life, he was removed from his position in sales at the company and reassigned to a dead-end job with no external responsibilities, far from the important work he had been doing. From being a prominent figure in the company's business operations, he was demoted to a back-office position where he no longer had contact with clients or any meaningful projects. He became invisible, tucked away in a corner. Yet despite the drastic change in his work situation, he couldn't afford to quit. His wife had filed a substantial claim for alimony, which he was obligated to pay. On top of that, his age made finding new employment extremely difficult. In the end, no matter how humiliating it was to stay in such a lowly position, he had no choice but to stay. Day after day, he now sits at his desk carrying out menial tasks with no hope of returning to his previous status. The woman he had the affair with, on the other hand, did not fare much better. She chose to resign voluntarily from the company, likely pressured by the situation that had unfolded. The scandal surrounding their affair became too much to bear. After leaving her job, she was forced to pay alimony to Michael's wife as well. And ultimately, she returned to her hometown in the countryside. The shame and financial strain of the affair had left her with no other options. Imagining the lonely future that awaits Michael is nothing short of painful. Here was a man who, not too long ago, had everything: a stable career, a family, a comfortable life, but his own actions, fueled by selfish desires, led him down a path that cost him everything. The affair with his subordinate not only destroyed his marriage, but also derailed his career in ways he could never have anticipated. Michael was once well respected in his field. As a sales executive, he was the face of the company, often negotiating with clients and securing deals. He had a certain confidence about him, always walking through the office with his head held high. But that same arrogance might have blinded him to the consequences of his actions. Perhaps he thought he could juggle both his professional and personal indiscretions without being caught. But life rarely works out that way. His wife, who had stood by him through thick and thin, had every reason to leave. After all, this wasn't just about a single mistake. When he carelessly mentioned an affair once or twice, it revealed a deeper problem. He saw his infidelities as minor transgressions, dismissing the hurt and betrayal that they caused. It's no wonder that once the truth came out, his wife could no longer tolerate being in the marriage. Their divorce wasn't just a personal matter either. It rippled through Michael's professional life. The company likely wanted to distance itself from the scandal, and removing him from his position in sales was an easy way to minimize any damage. He went from being a key player to someone who could easily be forgotten. In the corporate world, once you lose your relevance, it's nearly impossible to regain it. Now, Michael spends his days in the shadows, performing trivial tasks that no one else wants to do. The irony is that despite all this, he cannot leave his job. The alimony payments to his ex-wife are a constant reminder of his mistakes, and he's trapped in this miserable routine, knowing that quitting would mean financial ruin. His pride might be bruised, but he has no choice but to endure the monotony, watching the years slip away from behind his desk. As for the woman he had the affair with, her fate seems equally grim. In a sense, she was a casualty of Michael's recklessness, though she too made her own choices. Voluntarily resigning from the company was likely an attempt to escape the shame of being known as the other woman, but it came at a great cost. After paying her share of the alimony, she retreated to the countryside, where her career prospects are likely limited. One can only imagine the isolation she must feel now. Together, their affair not only destroyed their lives, but also left a trail of pain and regret. Michael, once so confident and full of himself, is now facing the reality of a lonely and desolate old age. The choices he made in pursuit of temporary pleasures led to permanent consequences. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next